I love life very much, and it's been said that I can't possibly love life, that I'm a very unhappy man, or must be a very unhappy man. And I would say that I'm a very happy man, an extremely happy man, in a compulsively unhappy world.
A musician, turned police photographer, founder of the Church of Satan, and writer of the Satanic Bible, the creator of Satanism itself. The late Anton LaVey has inspired millions around the world to follow this complex and unorthodox religion. I decided it was time to witness and understand their practices firsthand, and delve into this unfamiliar and undocumented world, and in a week trying to determine whether the negative connotations and perceptions about the religion were in any truth at all. I'm Connor Robbins, and this is A Week with Satan. So I thought the first logical step in my investigation of the religion was to get onto the internet. After my initial research, I was quick to discover that the religion mainly exists online. However, there's little on what being a Satanist actually entails. After further research, we came across a few individuals who we think might be willing to talk. So we've contacted this guy called Ben Dean. He's the chairman at the Church of Rational Satanism. And we've also found someone called Zeke, who is known as the chapter head in the UK chapter of the Satanic Temple London. So hopefully we can meet these people and uncover some information about religion and what it means to be a Satanist, and whether these common misconceptions that people have and have any truth behind them at all. So I'm going to shoot Zeke over an email now and see if he wants to meet us. After contacting various satanic organisations, the first to respond was Ben Dean, chairman at the Church of Rational Satanism. After requesting to view the questions prior to the interview, he agreed to meet and talk with us about what it really means to be a Satanist, and teach me about the origins and the history of Satanism itself. Oh, Ben, is it?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Connor. Nice to meet you. So how would you describe Satanism, someone in one sentence?
I'd say that Satanism is a life-loving philosophy centered around the individual, based on personal responsibility. It teaches belief in the self rather than belief in something else.
What is the Church of Rational Satanism?
Okay, so the Church of Rational Satanism is an organisation which was created in 2009 by Lee Banks. He actually felt that LaVey's concept of Satanism had become stagnant and decided that it was time to sort of inject a new kind of philosophy into it. So once he came up with his idea for doing that, he then sort of gained some like-minded individuals, and the organisation kind of grew from there, really.
So what are your opinions on LaVey, Satanism and other organisations such as the Satanic Temple?
So LaVey, obviously, he started the Church of Satan in '66. Obviously, that was the big one, bringing forth the Satanic Bible in '69, so 3 years after its inception. It was actually came from the idea of being an anti-hippie movement. They didn't like the idea of the sort of free love era of the '60s, and they wanted to sort of rebel against that. And that's where the sort of idea came from. It wasn't about giving love to everyone, it was about giving love to those that deserved it. The Satanic Temple, very loud group, very media-based, and very much using that idea of the romantic Satanism era, of using it as a catalyst for political change. So they use it to provoke an argument. To me, I would debate whether that is Satanism, but at the moment, because of the media coverage they've got, they are the ones that are able to shape what Satanism looks like now.
After the interview concluded, I left feeling educated and had an overall clear understanding of the religion. Once the cameras had stopped rolling, Ben explained to us that he in fact used to be a member of the Satanic Temple, and that there is some bad blood between him and some of their members, one of them being Zeke Apollyon, the chapter head of the temple. Ben is no longer affiliated with the group, and after hearing stories of strange, meaningless rituals they used to perform, I'm now quite anxious to meet them. So I'm just in the coffee shop. This is a quick update. We've been exchanging emails with Zeke for the past few days, and we met him yesterday. He seemed really eager and up for helping us with the project. However, he's just emailed now saying that he can now no longer take part as he's had to fly back to California for a family emergency. So he has put us in contact with two other people. However, Jackson and Claudia, they are also part of the temple. We don't know yet how willing they're going to be to help us, but we'll just have to wait and see. Having heard so much about the Satanic Temple, I was eager to meet with Jackson and Claudia, but I would have been lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Understandably, due to constant scrutiny from the media, they also requested to view the questions prior to the interview so that they could prepare. They asked to meet us in South London at Nunhead Cemetery, one of the Magnificent Seven, a group of Victorian cemeteries which after some research I found out is a popular meeting place within the Gothic community. We were also informed that Jackson and Claudia had been drinking for some time before the interview, and when we arrived their behaviour was sporadic and very confusing. Okay, so what is the Satanic Temple?
So we're an organisation that encourages benevolence and empathy amongst all people. We're very much about rejecting an authority that would oppress anyone, and we also advocate practical common sense.
Is there any meetings or rituals you hold in a specific place, similar to the Christian church service?
Here, I mean, this is one now.
Okay.
So welcome.
Thank you.
You're here.
So could you explain the hierarchy within the temple?
We don't believe in a hierarchy in Satanism, but we do have an organizational group to just get things done, you know. But hierarchy, no.
Okay, so we just finished up with the interview with Jackson and Claudia. Really lovely people, really interested in their answers. But one thing that was fascinating to me was all their answers and all their questions, it seemed, before they came, had to be filtered through Zeke. And I know they said in one of their answers that there isn't a hierarchy, but to me, it was clear that there is some kind of power status that he has that they don't. So yeah, I've been invited into town with them. Don't really know what to expect. We're going to go for a few drinks, so let's see what the rest of the night entails. On the way to the bar, Jackson and Claudia's behaviour escalated. They claimed to have known each other for only 2 weeks, and they were both in relationships. Nonetheless, they continued to become ever increasingly flirtatious, and after a while, I was given the impression that Jackson and Claudia didn't really want to aid me in my investigation of Satanism at all, and they were only doing it because Zeke instructed them to. Over dinner, my discomfort became apparent. I watched as they murmured and sniggered about us, and I began to realise that my whole day had been entirely controlled by Jackson. Soon enough, we travelled downstairs into complete darkness and entered the bottom bar. My initial plan was to have a few social drinks with the pair and to end my week with Satan. However, they insisted on me trying the famous Bloodshot, a tomato, vodka and chopped chilies concoction that they quoted tasted like hell. Well, this concludes my week with Satan. Hail Satan. Oh no. Oh no. At the end of my week with Satan, I started to understand why Satanists have such a bad reputation, from the lies of Anton LaVey to the uncomfortable behaviour of Jackson and Claudia. On the other hand, the life-loving philosophy and belief in yourself that Ben described contradicts all of the negative stereotypes. However, I still don't think I'll be putting on my goat's head or cape anytime soon.